to PIM Talks, where conversations spark ideas, stories inspire action, and voices make a difference. I'm Phalguni Kharadia, your host for today, and we are here to explore the minds of passionate professionals shaping the world around us. Joining me today is someone who helps people find clarity, courage, and calm in their chaotic lives, the wonderful Prashasti Kaustubh.
Thank you.
She's a certified life coach and a mental health advocate who guides people to unlock their full potential. Welcome to PIM Talks, Prashasti.
Thank you so much, Phalguni. It's lovely to be here.
The pleasure is all ours. So Prashasti, can you tell about yourself, like who Prashasti is?
Oh, that's a very deep question actually. Who is Prashasti? So let me begin with what I am as a professional. I have been practicing as a mental health counselor, advocate, and a life coach for the last 8 years. I'm a certified practitioner of mental health, and I'm trained in coaching. So, and who I am as a person, I'm somebody who really loves to interact with people, get to know them, and really hear their story, their side of the story, know what they're all about. So yeah, that's what Prashasti is.
That's a very interesting personality.
Thank you.
So Prashasti, through your blogs and LinkedIn posts, you use very powerful metaphors like salmon swimming upstream and boundaries as a superpower. So to define leadership and mental well-being. So how do you combine courage and leadership together in fast-pacing world where we are forced internally to say yes to everything?
That's actually a very good question. So I think one of the things that I wanted to really speak about was the importance of setting boundaries, whether it's in your personal relationship or whether it's in your professional relationship. The importance of having a boundary and the ability to say no at the right time in the right place is very important. So when you're a leader, I think we take on the responsibility of the entire world. We feel like, oh, we have to head this, we have to be the face of the team, and we have to always take the hit, which is true in some sense. But there will be times when you need to pause as a leader and take a deep breath, take a reset, and refocus on things that are important to you as a person and as a leader. So when you're refocusing, it is important to realize what are the things that are working for me and what is not. Now, courage comes with vulnerability. As a leader, if I'm not vulnerable enough to accept the fact that, you know what, this is my weak moment, right now I'm not feeling okay to continue with this, that's, you know, you're never going to evolve as a leader. You're going to keep hitting that place of trying to try harder and trying to be the face of all the hardships. Suddenly, you'll hit burnout. So the importance of leadership and courage comes with this important bit of being vulnerable, being able to say no to things that are at that moment not making sense to you, or you don't have the mental and the physical capacity to just do it.
Can you share one incident that when you said no and you realized that boundaries are necessary?
Absolutely, every day of my life. I think whenever we have, even in my personal life, I think I want to take a bit from my personal life. My professional life, I've set very clear boundaries that, you know what, 9 to 5 is where I want to work. Beyond 5, if you need me, maybe if it's absolutely urgent, I will go ahead and be there for you for like a few minutes. But if the world is not crashing down, I'm sorry, it's a hard stop at 5. But in my personal life, I think I'm practicing it every day. And even though I have been a mental health advocate, I also struggle sometimes with setting those boundaries. So I think my maid takes me for a ride. So sometimes I have to say no to her that no, you cannot do this your own way. So this is just an example from our Indian context. I think a lot of women will be able to relate to this. But yeah, setting right expectations is very important, which I keep doing.
So mental health has been a huge conversation, especially post-pandemic. So what are the most common challenges you see people facing today?
I think post-pandemic, so I used to work, and I still do, work with a corporate company, and I was into clinical, and we used to get a lot of crisis management calls during pandemic. One of the things we realized was people were not able to compartmentalize professional life with personal life. And that's also a little bit about setting boundaries. You're bringing work back home, you're taking your frustrations from home to your work, and that transfusion keeps happening, and that leads to a lot of confusion for the person. So how do you create that separation? I think post-pandemic, when I worked with all of these employees and corporates, I realized that helping them develop a healthy habit of creating that gap between your work, hey, now I've completed my work, I'm going back home. And in that gap, you nurture yourself as an individual and see what is working for you, what's not working for you, how you're feeling in that moment, and then see what you can do to gain that little energy back and take that back home with you so that you can have a positive environment there.
So what do you think the reason that after pandemic people are taking the mental health very seriously? So what could be the reason?
I think it was a lot around the social connections. In our fast-paced life, we completely forgot to connect with each other. I also sometimes don't know my neighbor's name. So I really have to put that effort into connecting with people. So I think post-pandemic, during pandemic, we realized the importance of being connected as humans, and that isolation doesn't work. So that's why mental health kicked in, and everybody was like, you know what, I need help. I need to find out ways to cope with what I'm going through. I don't even know what to name this as. So I think that's where a little bit of difference happened.
So coaching is a very personal journey. So can you share one client transformation that really touched you or shifted your own perspective?
I have a lot of examples from my clients, and usually my clientele is very they are businessmen or they are businesswomen, and they are working high in corporate C-suite. But the real change came very recently. So I've been working with this youngling. She works for me. She's in fact my infant's caretaker, and she's not a client. Okay. But looking at that 25-year-old and the potential she has, I really tried to nurture her skills. So I was trying to push her in a direction where she could see her skills and see herself as a capable person. Before that, she would use very degrading language for herself. And after constantly working with her, and obviously sometimes I was frustrated with her because she would just not get the point. With constant work with her, I saw a real change just a couple of days back, where she realized that actually I am interested in building my skills. I really want to try that side. Now she's willing to find the time in her very, very busy schedule. She has 2 kids herself, to just go ahead and hone her skills, and she is going to make that work. So she has promised herself that in the next 5 years, I need to be out of here making sure my children get the best education. And when she said that to me, for me, it wasn't a transformation that I made for her. It was just seeing that journey for her, from being reluctant to accept herself as somebody capable, as a capable human, to being someone who has just accepted herself for who she is, and that she still has skills. She is human, she can make mistakes, and she will learn from them, and she'll grow.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't go to actually for coaching and all that stuff. But if I'm seeing my friend and I know something is wrong, so what can I do for that person? Like if she's not sharing, he's not sharing, or she's firm to his decision or her decision. So what can I do to help the other person?
It's a great question. So when somebody is not willing to ask for help, when they are probably not willing to share, it's important to just remind them that you are there. Just let them know that, hey, Phalguni, if you need me someday, just let me know. Give me a call. I'll be available at 4. So the importance of somebody just being there to hear you out is very, very is something that I need to highlight, because oftentimes we're just like, I can't reach out to my family, they're just bored of hearing my problems. I can't reach out to my friends, they don't want to hear any more of it. And when I start feeling like that, it is important to remind me that, hey, there's professional help also. So if you can't come to me, go to someone professional, let me know, we can find something together, or just Google something. So something will always be there to help you out through whenever you're feeling quite stuck.
So for our young listeners, like students and professionals, what are the 3 simple practices they can start today to improve their well-being, mental well-being?
Self-care. It is not selfish to put some time into your day to just take care of yourself. I remember Shilpa Shetty saying in one of her, I think, cooking shows that you spend 1 hour in the day to just do some kind of physical activity. It is 4%. It is 4% that you've spent on yourself. So we can allow ourselves that much time.
Yeah.
Right? So self-care is something that I will definitely emphasize on. Build human connections. Always stay connected with your friends, your family, create a network for professionals, help each other out. I think humans cannot thrive in isolation, so just try to help each one out. And third would be, I think, just be vulnerable. When you feel like crying, take that time to cry. It is okay to cry. It is healthy to cry. It is a symbol of courage and not weakness. Yes. Girls and boys equally can cry, okay?
So let's take this conversation in a bit fun and quick.
Sure.
It's time for rapid fire round. Just answer the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
One word that defines your coaching style.
Experimental.
A book that changed your perspective.
Inner games of tennis.
Okay. Early bird or night owl?
None. I just sleep whenever my kids sleep.
Mom problems.
Mom problems.
Your go-to stress reliever.
My husband.
A quote you live by.
Carpe diem.
If not a coach, you would be?
A lawyer.
One mental health myth you wish people would stop believing.
Like I just said, that if you ask for help, you are weak. You're not weak. You're actually more courageous than the person that has not asked for help and is probably just unloading on the world. So,
Yeah. Tea or coffee?
Coffee always. Filter coffee.
One thing you tell yourself on a tough day.
This shall pass.
Your message in one line to someone who feels stuck.
Okay, so I think you should remind yourself about the power of yet. So whatever you're hoping for to happen in your life has not happened yet, but it will definitely happen. Just keep trying.
That was really, really fun. So one last message to our audience before we wrap up.
Absolutely. So it was lovely to be here, Phalguni. Thank you so much for having me over. I think what I would like to say is whether it's a coach, a professional help, a mental health advocate, your friend, your family, there is no problem in asking for help. If you need anything, you can always reach out to your near and dear ones, or just Google about a professional help and you will definitely have somebody there. Be open-minded. If something doesn't work for you, it doesn't mean that it will never work out for you. So in this moment, just try to keep finding ways that can help you support your journey.
Thank you so much, Prashasti. The whole conversation was very insightful and refreshing. Thank you for bringing your warmth and wisdom to the vlogs.
Thank you so much.
And for our listeners, remember, seeking help is not weakness, it's wisdom. Until next time, this is me, Phalguni Kharadia, signing off. Stay kind to your mind.